Christian Pulisic scored the only goal as Milan beat Empoli 1-0 to move into second place. Gab, any progress in the Pioli?
They're second. They made a whole bunch of changes after the Europa League. They won. They could have scored more. They weren't outstanding, but they weren't terrible either. I think people need to get off of Pioli's back and also not read so much into what Jerry Cardinale said when he said, well, I'm not happy and Zlatan's not happy. He said that 3 months ago. Just judge him at the end of the season.
Inter make it 13 wins in a row in all competition after they beat Bologna 1-0 at the weekend, Gab. They were looking ahead of the Champions League.
I think very, very, very obviously because, all right, so he rotated about half the team, Lautaro on the bench, Di Marco on the bench. And then they started out and they created a couple chances. And then Jan Bisek, who's looking more and more like I think the first option off the bench at center back, puts them ahead after 32 minutes. And I think that's their last shot and target of the game. The rest of the time, they're like, okay, let's just see this out. This, Nobody get hurt. You know what? If Bologna equalize, who cares, right? Bologna, we said, one of the stories this season, Thiago Motta doing a fantastic job. Yeah. Maybe they deserved a draw. Maybe they didn't. But the whole thing about this was just picking up no injuries and keeping the momentum going. And they still have a huge lead at the top.
Juventus are held to a 2-2 draw at home by Atalanta on Sunday night and slip into third place behind Milan. Gab, they're playing better football but getting worse results. I think it's only 6 points in the last 7 games. Are you happy?
I mean, I'm happy for that they're playing better football. They need to play better football. And I think they need to get out of this illness where they just keep thinking about results and whatever, because there's all this data, there's all this history says if you play better than the opposition. They played well. I thought Atalanta were fortunate. I thought Koopmeiners really turned it around.
What player though? What season he's having?
Koopmeiners? Phenomenal. That's why so many people want to sign him. But I thought Chiesa's productive. Milik scored. Yeah. Remember, they played in this game without Vlahovic and Rabiot, supposedly 2 of their better players. Yeah. This is the way forward. And you know what? It doesn't make a jot of difference if you're second or third. It makes a difference if you build this team.
Diego Llorente's buzzer beater earns Roma a 2-2 draw away to Fiorentina. Hence the shirt, of course. Gab, not the greatest performance, perhaps, from the Romanisti. But the Daniele De Rossi bandwagon rolls on.
That's right. 4-0 up in the Europa League after beating Brighton and De Zerbi. Yeah. They're now 5th in the league, which seems absolutely incredible to me. Given where we took over, they've only lost 1 game.
Only Inter has beaten them,
They could have lost this one, and maybe should have lost this one. Fiorentina missing a penalty as well. A penalty which, by the way, should never been given. The most embarrassing dive from Andrea Belotti. Living up to his nickname, which is the Rooster. And there's another word for rooster, of course, as you know, which I won't go there.
Against his former club.
I guess his former club, former club where in his first season he went the whole year without scoring, which is difficult to do. Look, they move on. Fiorentina play really attacking football. I think Roma suffered a little bit because of it. Yeah. Somebody said, this is the kind of game that Mourinho's Roma would have won. And this is not one of those crazy Mourinho fans. He's probably right, because they would have just hit on the counter and would have tied up. That's not how De Rossi plays. Yeah. And they could have lost this game.
Napoli and Torino drew 1-1. 2 points dropped for Ciccio Calzona then and Napoli.
I think so. I mean, they weren't great, but they took the lead with Kvaratskhelia. They were beaten by an overhead kick from Sanabria, which everybody lost their minds over. I don't know.
No, it's not that.
It's not that big. No. You're like 2 meters out, right?
Exactly.
But I think it was indicative by the lineup he put out there that, he put out his best 11. He's saying, guys, I'm not putting all my eggs in the Champions League basket. I'm here to do a job. I believe we can finish top 5 and qualify for the Champions League next season. And we're going to try doing that. And so in that sense, it definitely is 2 points dropped.